thing, they combat it with either being mean or they get really sharp with their tongue, because it's a self-preservation mechanism. So I think as she grew and as she matured and she started doing better in her career, she understood, like, I don't have to talk about these women. I do want to lose some weight, and it's okay. It's okay
right.
if you're overweight and you want to say, I want to lose some weight. It's nothing wrong with that, because like you said, you have to be healthy. Everybody's not going to be a size 2. Everybody was not created to, but whatever size you are, I think you should be healthy with it.
You know they were saying on the news that just because you're a size 5 doesn't mean you're healthy. If it's mostly fat, then you're unhealthy. People just need to exercise and be as healthy as they can be. Whether it's a Queen Latifah size or whatever size you are, just make it work for yourself.
And what bothers me also is the older women. I mean, of course, there's problems with the younger women, but the older women, especially now that I'm
not a good example.
Getting older, it's like I'll get around people that are in their 40s and 50s or even 60s, and people always ask me, well, why are all your friends younger than you? And it's not that I want to have younger friends, but it's like the people, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, but the people that are my age, they look at me crazy because, you know what, I still wear kids' clothes. I'm proud of that. I can save money. If I want to get a polo shirt, I can shop. I'm going to be honest with you. Hey, I can go to the kids section and I can get a size 12, and I'm so proud, okay? And I'll sit there and tell a woman that's 55 or 60 years old, and they just want to whisper and talk about me. Like I said, why you got to hate? When you get to that point in life, we should learn to love one another. And that just, honestly, it gets me to the point that I just want to cry.
But you know what, Carla? You asked us earlier, you said, how do we change it? The thing is, it starts in the home. If you have a mother with low self-esteem, she's raising a daughter and she's going to have low self-esteem if somebody does not come in and mentor her. It's very important, I feel like, if you're older, you need to be mentoring the younger women. We need to be mentoring the teenage girls. The teenage girls need to be mentoring the younger girls, because we help each other. If you have a healthy sense of who you are, if you know that you love yourself, you need to pass that on so that other women can start having a healthy attitude, and it won't be, the hate won't be there.
I agree with you, but that's why we're having this show today. Most people do not know that they have a problem. Right. I'm just going to be honest with you. Most people don't. And most of us are raising these fools nowadays, because evidently, you got the women, you got the kids, and it's a cycle, and it keeps going on and on and on and on. And it got to get better.
They have to want to help themselves. They have to get sick of the poison that they're allowing into their spirit. With a woman or a nice looking woman, I think women are attractive. I think the women are the best things on this earth.
I agree.
I think so. I think so. I mean, and their hair looks. Beauty all around me. What's wrong with that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they have to want. You have to want to be helped. You have to want to be positive around positive people, or somebody's always saying something negative. Why she wear that? See, I've been hearing that since a child from my elders. Yeah. So it's been a long time that this cycle, the elders start putting us down. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where it started for me.
Always. What can we do? What can we do?
They need to do something. They need to check themselves, but they don't want to, because they don't see anything is wrong with it. That's their, I guess, culture. But some of them probably want to come out of that. They have to want to come out of that.
The people who are watching us on the Mills Connection show, I want them to know that if you see someone and they look beautiful, there's nothing wrong with you saying, you know what, girl, you look so good.
Right.
I love your shoes. Where'd you get those? I need some help. Maybe can we go shopping together? There's nothing wrong with that. We need to do that.
You're so quiet.
Yeah.
I actually learned a lot. But common sense tells you to compliment instead of hate on people, but you can't make a person stop hating.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's good that we're doing this, because somebody's going to watch this show and they're going to listen to us. And a lot of times, until you see it, you don't really understand what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone will turn the TV on and watch the show, and they'll hear her say, well, the elders put me down since a child. And they'll say, oh my God, I've been doing that to my daughter. Oh my gosh, I've been speaking death into my daughter. I haven't been complimenting her and telling her she's beautiful, or telling my son that, that God created him to be an awesome man and not to sleep around with women. Like, maybe somebody will watch it and understand you have to speak life. That's one thing. Words are seeds.
Yes, they are.
Everybody who's watching. Your words are seeds, and they're powerful. The Bible says life and death is in the tongue, the power of it. So I think one of the first things we need to do is, people who are watching, be careful what you say. Start listening to what you're saying. And once you can control that. I mean, unless you're in a vegetative state, you
You're
can
right.
control what you say. You know what I mean? And it's a process, because if you're so used to being negative, and if that's how you grew up, it's kind of difficult, you know, to change. But you have to start somewhere. So you start gradually. Like if when you start thinking a negative thought, change. Say, no, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Let me replace that and say something positive.
And if you're watching the show and you do not know how to start, get on your knees and pray and ask God to help you. Because if you ask God to help you and you listen, you best believe He'll show you what to do.
Absolutely.
We have somebody who wants to ask a question.
What's
Well,
up?
hey.
How you
Hello.
doing?
And you are?
This is your boy DJ Doc Dice with OHP. Look, I couldn't sit in this audience no longer without coming up here and saying I feel so honored and so blessed to be in front of black women like this. Beautiful, intellectual, you're wise-spoken, and I mean, you represent who we are as a people. Thank you, first of all.
Thank you.
All right, what I wanted to say is I think our part, it's like what you ladies said, it starts in the home. Myself being a father of a young lady, I'm raising somebody's wife. That's the way I look at it. So I need to raise her with pride, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I raise her with pride. She knows her self-worth. She doesn't get competitive because she has her self-worth. Am I right?
Right.
So basically what I'm getting from you guys is that I'm on the right track.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very important. Like my father told me, he told me, he said, you're the prize, not him. And my father told me, he said, baby, because you know, when you're growing up, you date, she's not going to be perfect. We're never going to be perfect. But
Right.
like the Bible says, if you train up a child in the way they should go when they get old, they will not depart from it. So the things that you tell her, she's going to remember them. Even though she may,
Exactly.
you know, bring a couple guys home, you're like, I don't like him for you. But my father told me, he said, baby, you can have somebody that's awesome and amazing, that's going to love you, that's going to treat you the way you're supposed to be treated. And I remembered that. I remember my father telling me I'm the prize. I remember him telling me what I can have and what I can accomplish. So that's stayed with me all this time. So what you're doing, you're planting those seeds. You're definitely on the right track. Please continue to keep and date your daughter.
Right,
I have
right,
another
right.
angle also. I'm an only child, and I
Okay.
was spoiled rotten. So sometimes that can be also a curse.
Right.
Because when you're raised and your dad makes you feel like you're God's gift, you really believe that. And it took me a long time, so try to keep a balance. I think that's
Yes.
something that most people don't talk about, but I wasn't balanced. When I was young, it was like, what? I'm here. Okay.
So where do you think the imbalance came in?
I think with my dad making me feel like I was the baddest thing in the world. And I think that we have to be real with our children. That has a lot to do with it. I think that we all want our girls to think that they're the best, they're special, but there's also other women that are special also. And I think we need to teach them that.
And I think, I think the balance came in with me is because, you know, of course, my mom, the dad, I'm the princess. You know that.
Yeah.
You know, your
That's
dad is
right.
little princess.
Yeah.
But your mom, she gives you the real, like, how we were saying, somebody in the audience asked, does it get better? Or which age group gets hated on the most? It gets worse.
It gets
and
worse.
my mother told me growing up, I would come home and I would say, well, Mom, the girls are calling me stuck up. They don't even know me. But my mom says, baby, it doesn't get any better when you get older. So that balance comes in with your mom telling you, yes, you're amazing and special, but make sure you're nice to people. Make sure you say thank you. Make sure you say please. Don't take things for granted. Don't be selfish.
That's right.
So the balance has to come in. Yes, Father, absolutely build her up and encourage her. And also let her know that you have to be nice to people. You know what I mean? I'm sure you're doing that.
Yes,
But
I am.
also
Right.
let them know that you have to be nice to people. If you see other little girls being mean, don't join in. You
right.
be the one to take up for the child that's being mistreated.
I
So
have
that's
a
where the
question.
balance
That's right.
comes
I have a question for you. When you notice or observe your daughter with her friends, do you ever, does she ever give her friends compliments, or do they compliment each other on their, I don't know, bows or shoes? Do they compliment each other? I know she plays well.
Yeah,
with
that's
others.
that's an interesting question because she's a diva in her own right.
She
She
is.
knows she's beautiful. She's been being told that by strangers all of her life. I think I detect a sense of her standing back and sharing a light. I'm not sure because I want to see only the best in my daughter, of course. I think she's on the right track where that's concerned. But one thing is there's something profound that you can tell me. She's getting ready to go into her preteens. I'm panicking over here. I mean, she gets advice from her mother. She gets input from her aunts and stuff like that. But on a panel of women that don't even know her, Trinetta, you know her, but on a panel of women, this is my opportunity to get some different outside, unattached input. What could you prepare me for as far as when she go into her preteens and she alienates herself from me?
Me
You think she's going to alienate
I do.
herself?
I
They
do.
They change.
I think girls do.
They change.
Yeah, they do. I don't think I think he's right. As girls get older,